what would we do if one of our children wanted to change their gender? And we've often said, Kay, I said, I'm already slightly nervous about talking about this. I love talking about it. Loose women, you know, often raise these subjects. I think it's great to have awareness, but it makes me nervous of using the wrong word, and you upset an awful lot of people.
It would almost be easier not to.
It would almost be easier not to.
But it needs to be talked about, doesn't it?
But I mean, I think we have to, because clearly this is very much out there on the radar now, and it looks like a really interesting documentary tonight, doesn't it? But we are fearful of saying the wrong thing, of perhaps, you know, getting into trouble with language, etc. But I mean, I'm not being in any way, but I would say to the trans community, if I can say that, you know, bear with us. You know, because we genuinely want to try and understand this. We genuinely want to get our heads around it, because we don't want children to be confused. We don't want families to be thrown into turmoil. But it is a huge thing to get a hold of. And if you haven't walked in those shoes, and I could see that father so impassioned, and I'm actually watching him thinking, what can I say about this? Because I haven't walked in those shoes. But I do want to understand it. So as we talk, if I say the wrong thing, can I just apologise?
Yes, well, we'd like to apologise. I would say the same, because, you know, it won't be the first time I've got myself into trouble with using the wrong terms. But, you know, but we really are interested in supporting people out there and supporting families who are going through this. And there might be someone watching now. And those families, they won't necessarily know the right language to use, would they?
It's interesting you say that, because we've got messages in already. And, you know, the pronoun is a big thing. Do you call he, she, he, they? A lot of people go with they. Rosina says, my 9-year-old son told us 4 months ago he is a trans girl. Now, that's Rosina's words. That's
and he's how old? 9?
9. I was so proud of him for having the courage. I did cry privately for fear of other people's reactions, but the school have been amazing. At the moment, he still lives as a boy, but he's growing his hair and experimenting with makeup. We let him set the pace, and he's so much happier. So that's a 9-year-old child.
I think there will be people that say, I'm going to put this side of the argument, so to speak, is that they'll say it's a phase. Say it's a phase. And I'm not negating from anybody out there if you're going through this, and I know it's a very serious thing, but there might be a parent, particularly if there are children 4 or 5 years old, they come and say, oh, mummy, I want to be, you know, I'm a girl, but I want to be a boy. Do you immediately take that seriously, go and talk to somebody? Or because I think there will be people that are saying, well, you know, maybe they're just a bit tomboyish, they want to dress like a boy.
Let's go back to these messages. Sky, as a transgender female, I find the whole kids being diagnosed being transgender very uncomfortable. I really feel kids should be encouraged and supported to explore their gender and get full support from parents as well as... So that's somebody who is transgender.
What would you do if one of your boys...
I think what was refreshing for me to see that clip was to see the father's support, and I think that's the most important thing, whether a child's coming to you saying they're bullied at school, or a child's coming saying, mummy, maybe I'm, you know, gay, maybe I you know, that kind of thing. It's just having that support system for children to be able to go to their parents to be understanding.
Talk about anything, but this, if you take it the full way, is, you know, when you're talking about having an operation to change yourself, and that's where I think people say, how far do you don't want to encourage too much in case it is just I prefer playing with the girls that break, and they're not actually really wanting to be a girl, like, you know. So I suppose for a lot of parents, you think, how far do you take this at what age?
But Rod and I discussed that, you know, obviously with Aidan, when he was 3 and 4, he used to dress up in every assortment of outfits, from Batman and Superman, but even he loved Mary Poppins and would put a white dress on. You know, one of Rod's daughters had left some stuff around from her youth, and he put a dress on, and we weren't kind of, we can't wear that dress. You know, we were quite happy for him. He was just using his imagination.
But that's like that kind of dressing up, isn't it? If he then said, mummy, I want to be a girl, I want to be called Anna and not Alistair, and I want to go to school in the dress, and I want, you know...
I think had it been my older son, like the lady was saying, when he was 9, then I would take it a lot more serious and want to take it further with him. Or when they're much younger, then you just sort of roll with it for a little bit and see how things go. I think that's why we do have to understand more about it, and we do have to talk about it and have the courage to get it wrong, and you know, have someone correct us, because my little understanding of it is that children who experience this, it's not a case of dressing up as a princess or doing that. I mean, they are tortured by this. You know, they are really distressed by this. They feel incredibly uncomfortable. It would be an ever-present thing within your household, and I think
when you're facing that as a parent, I mean,
well, they
and
say
your child is saying, I'm
mermaids.
deeply unhappy.
Yeah, Mermaids is the organisation who offers support for these children, trans children and their families. And they say if a child is feeling like they were born into the wrong body, the parent should support and listen to them. That's one of the most important things, is to listen.
Basic rule of parenting, that one.
Yeah.
If you thought that got heated, wait until you watch these and click here to subscribe. You may as well. It's totally free.